Alright, let's take a small moment to see. Okay, so now I need my phone for the plugin. 1 second, don't be right there. I mostly give it up on food. There we go. Hello, amazing hackers. Hope you're all doing well today. Let's see for a moment if everything is alright. You should be able to see me, you should be able to hear me. I can see myself. Can I hear myself? That's a good question. Let's see. Yeah, perfect. Can hear myself. All right. Hello, amazing hackers. Hope you're all doing well today and welcome to the stream. So today I want to show you a few tricks. I have 4 tricks up my sleeve. I've put them in the description as well. I'm going to go over them, but if there are questions from the audience, please don't hesitate to ask. Let's give it a few moments and let's give it also a little bit of a tweet to show that we are live so people can join. Of course, there's going to be a recording of this video, so if you want to watch that later, that's always possible as well, of course. There we go. So now everything should be up and running. You should be able to see me. I should be able to see you. This thing is telling me that I need to log in with a passkey, so let's do that. Do I have something in terms of that open? No, I have to do it with my... There we go. Ooh. All right, let's log in. Two-step verification is always nice. So that way I can follow the chat on my other screen as well. If there are questions, they can come in through the chat windows. There's going to be a full Q&A tomorrow that I'm also more than happy to go on with. No, we don't need that. Yeah, whatever. Done. All right. There we go. Hey, Sam. Hey, Big Chief. Good to see you. Mariusz Orgis also as well in the audience, and everybody should be there. All right, let's go. So what do I want to show you today? Let's start off with broken access control. Why do I want to start off with broken access control? Well, there's different types of broken access control. And one of the easiest ways to look for that is semi-automated. You can kind of tell a computer what to do when it comes to this type of testing, but not fully. What do I mean with that? How will you tell a computer if a user is supposed to be able to execute a function or execute access to an object in read, write, update, delete format, whatever? How will you actually tell a computer this is what's supposed to happen and this is what's not supposed to happen? Now, with bug bounties, you're going to find different targets, and different targets will be better suited for this than others. What do I mean by that? Go to business applications if possible. Go with like low to medium payouts. Don't go for the giant payouts because those things are usually a little bit more secure. And business to business like HR applications, invoicing applications, and best of all, test this on our labs because we have God knows how many labs. So let's go for broken access control, shall we, for a moment? This shouldn't take too much time to show because we have several different ways. I will quickly go over this, and there's a broken access control video playing behind me as well. That's on the channel if you're interested in that. But in this case, we have the object property assignment, and this is broken access control based on property object, based on properties and their objects. You're not gonna have this with an easy way to look for if you're looking with this for like semi-automated hunting. It's not possible with this, or at least not in the way that I'm going to show you today. Why is that? What does this mean? So typically, when a developer goes and they make an application, they give you access to the property of this account, the username. You can change that username, and you can try this for yourself as well. Labs.hexpert.com, broken access control. you can try that for yourself. So you have access to that username, but sometimes you have access as well. So let's give this a little bit of a check, a bit of an inspection of what is actually behind this in terms of source code, shall we? So this is running within an iframe, so maybe it'll have a little bit of difficulty finding the source code. If so, yeah, I thought so. So let's just go and do it this way. Right click, and I just want to see where is it, view frame source. There we go. Oh yeah, that's not a problem. We can do that. I just wanted to view that source code here. We can see that there is another option here that we aren't able to see in the GUI. This is the flag for if this user is supposed to be an admin, yes or no. In this case, we can manipulate that, but that is not the type of broken access control which I want to talk about today. You can clearly see there's a field here, and you don't see that field when you go look in here. We don't have that same field. What way could you have possibly used to find this type of shit? Let's open Burp Suite for a second. So I'm going to use Burp Suite Community Edition from my end. That way you guys know that you can use the Community Edition easily for this. You don't need to have the Pro version. And since it's Java, of course, it likes to be a little bit dramatic, just like those Cisco network switches. Oh, sorry, Marish is also here. So sorry, Marish. You didn't hear me talk shit about Cisco at all. Oh wait, you're talking shit about Cisco with me. Wait, stop talking shit about Cisco with me. So, basically, if I have right here Burp Suite open, I'm gonna have my go to my proxy, and I first of all always want to set up my proxy settings properly. So we're going to go here, we're going to go for the scope section. If you want to go there, just scope, here we go, project. I use the advanced scope control, I try that, and in here we have labs.hexpert.com, which is currently our scope. No port open, I don't want to have a file, and we want to have all of the things added automatically. So now that my scope is set up, my proxy is set up, you can set up multiple proxies here. Why would you want to set up multiple proxies? For example, if you're testing with one user and you're testing them with browser, I don't know, you're testing them with your system browser, Firefox or whatever, and then you have a different user and there may be mobile, and you might want to have the mobile come in on port 8081 versus the web come in on port 8080. That way, you're going to be able to distinguish later which traffic came from which location easily without having to go through all kinds of hoops. There's also some intercept rules in here. So right here, we can see that we only want to intercept if these rules are active. We could, in this case, we're always going to say the file extension shouldn't match any of these because these are just resources. So if you're ever wondering why Burp Suite isn't loading your GIFs, that's why. You should probably not upload meme GIFs to a target anyway. You can also say the request should contain the following parameters. Should be, not be, or be this request method, and who have the target URL and scope. So this is an important one that we can basically check, and we can do anything here that we want ourselves with these types of settings as well. We could say, for example, request does not contain parameters XYZ if there's certain things out of scope or whatever. There's also response interception rules. The difference between the request and the response intercept is clear, I think, of course. And the request, you can say everything from the request. So contains parameters, does not contain parameters, the originating URL, whatever. Here, it's more the response. So the request was modified, was intercepted, does not match, etc. WebSocket interception rules, do we care? No. These, do we care? Yes, absolutely do we care. So check these. Always check these little options here. What do they do? Unhide form fields. Do I have to tell you what they do? This should be pretty obvious. Prominently highlighting them. Make a little red box around them. That's what that does. Enable disabled form fields. Yes, because those form field disabled things. Come on, guys. That's just client-side protection. I don't give a fuck about that. And then we have the remove input field length limit as well. Once again, client side, who cares, right? And remove the JavaScript form validation on top of that. You could choose to remove all JavaScript and brick your applications if you're a dumbass, or you could remove any object tags if you want, which protect against cross-site scripting, and then report a cross-site scripting which isn't valid because it's in an object tag. You could convert HTTPS links to HTTP, those might be useful, and then you can remove secure flags from cookies, steal them with an XSS attack vector, and report an invalid bug that way. You can have options, so there is always options for you. Then we have the HTTP match and replace rules. Let's say that I'm sending something out, and in there it will say name is Wesley as a parameter, right? Name is Wesley. I might want to change where name is Wesley. Every time I see parameter Wesley or value Wesley, I want to change that by the thexssrat automatically. That's what this is for. It'll match something and it'll replace it with something else. WebSocket match and replace rules, simple, same thing. This is really cool, by the way, because when I was starting with this kind of stuff, when you wanted to test WebSockets, you had to actually write your own WebSocket proxy, which converts it to HTTP requests, which could then be read by Burp Suite. And of course, it's different because your proxy or your WebSocket proxy would keep open the connection. Every time packets were sent, it would seem like an HTTP request, shit like that. So it's different. Believe me, it's a lot different than before. And this rabbit is completely destroying my. Yeah, well, why not? Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Don't mind me. It's not like I need that shit or no. So, a few other miscellaneous options, but I don't think there's a whole lot here that would be useful. I clicked logging out of scope items. It was disabled. I re-enabled this. Is that a good thing what I did? No. Should you be doing that? No, probably not. You set that scope up for a reason. Why the hell would you want to log that, right? Watch that back if you have some time and be like, oh, when did you do that exactly? Because you're really, like, often you're inclined to click shit, which you probably shouldn't be clicking because you want to be fast. You want to go, 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 go. And I fully get that. Like, don't get me wrong. I understand that for sure. But sometimes you need to slow down, watch what you're actually clicking, and maybe you clicked something wrong or whatever. So right here, my browser was fucking about. I have no idea why it didn't want to open my labs.expert.com. There we go. And we were talking about the object property assignment labs, right? So let's do easy. Woo! All right, HTTP history. What the fuck are you logging here, bro? Well, everything out of scope. That's what we actually said. So here we say stop logging out of scope items under the proxy history logging thing. There we go. Now, if we want to actually get back what we had before, we could delete everything here. We could do these things again. So let's see. Fuck's sake. Never mind. What I'm just gonna do is I'll just sort them like that. So the latest ones right here are gonna be the ones that we actually submit. I submitted one here, and it's still fucking logging everything out of scope. Why not? Log. Stop logging out of scope items. Logs out of scope items. Yep. Doesn't fucking matter. Doesn't matter. So basically, if we send this to the repeater, we can see those fields here. We can see what was actually sent, and we can clearly see here a username and an account type, which we didn't see in the UI. Now, the hard one from this, why is it hard? Because you don't even see this account type anymore being sent. But if I send this over right here, so here we see that he's actually an admin. Here, it's implied. Account type is an implied field due to this. It's an implied property. It's a property of this object anyway. It's a property of the user object. The exact name account type that you have here, the identifier, might be whatever the fuck, but you know that it exists already. It's a property. It's an actual property. The things that I wanted to focus on more today were things like our IDOR labs, where basically this first IDOR was really straightforward here, but I'm gonna open this with like a different mindset. So let's open this in this tab right here. Okay. Now, what do we see in Burp Suite? Proxy here. Up, 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 up. So it's logging basically all of the shit that I don't want to see. You can click this bar to basically say apply filter, shit like that. All right, so we get the IDOR lab, the basic IDOR labs right here. What do we see? A session ID, PHP session ID. Any other authentication headers? No, because my dumbass isn't logged in yet. Or am I? Well, turns out I am, right? So I'm logged in, and there's no other authentication here except for this session ID. Great, good, cool, fucking awesome. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that and I'm going to go to my extensions and I'll see if Authorize is installed in here. So let's see, Authorize, it isn't installed. What do we need to install it? Jython. No problem. I'll show you guys how to install this. What you need to do is you need the Jython in standalone here. What does that mean? A Jython standalone is just a jar file which you're just gonna download. So you have the Java doc here, that's not what you need. You need the Jython standalone.jar file. Click allow to download that shit. And you have the you have the kidding, of course. So now we still need to set that up, right? So we go to extension settings, Java environment here, and we have the Python environment for the Jython standalone jar. Let's load that up. Go to the downloads. Where are we? There we go. Yes, I allow it, and we need the Jython jar. Jython jar. There we go. All right, let's go back to here. Now we have it installed. We click away, we click back, and we can install Authorize. Okay, perfect. Now what is Authorize? It's just going to repeat the requests that you make. Oh, cool. You can actually do that now. I didn't know that. Awesome. So it will repeat the requests that you make, but with the header that you put in here. Why does that matter? Because now what I could do is I could go with this here and I could just go with a private session. I'll take this and I think it's that down here, Control Tab N, and there we go. Let's register with an account, enter an email address at whatever.com, and I'm going to put that the same for the password. Let's register. Okay. Now this is a different user. If I go to the user panel right here, I see my own posts. Let's make a new post. Let's just try that, okay? Let's see, posted successfully, and we can actually see that post. There's no edit button, there's no delete button. Why is that? When we create this user, once again, there was user rights. This user can basically do nothing here. Let's log out and let's try a few passwords here. Just throw random shit at the wall and see what sticks. Okay, so nothing from that. We didn't get anything from admin test maybe. There we go, admin test. Look at this. I can create new posts, I can create new users, I can view users. So what am I doing now? I'm logged in with the admin. I'm logged in with the admin right here. That is actually the header that I want. I want this admin's session ID. So what am I going to do? Grab it, of course. Here we go. We have that session ID from the admin. Let's go back to Authorize. Would I be doing things correctly if I would be setting it up like this? No, I've made this mistake on purpose to show you what you need to put in here. I am putting the high privilege headers in here at this moment. The user with the most privileges. I don't want their requests to be, well, I want their requests to be repeated, but not as that user with the highest amount of privileges. What I want to do is I want to have that other user, where is he? So let's go with this user. Let's call them the low priv user because they are not allowed to do anything basically. They don't have any rights. Let's take their headers. So back into Authorize you go. And that's a different story because now if I go into Authorize, this is still the low privileged user, But if I go into here and I say view users, this is a page that shouldn't be available to that low privileged user. That link just doesn't exist there. And you might see already it's taking a little bit longer to actually load. I have authorized on at this point, which means that it's actually going to repeat the request that I am going to do. So view users right here, maybe it doesn't exist, create no user, whatever. Yeah, I thought so. These are older posts, but or older pages, I should say. But this edit button, it should exist. So basically, when I want to, yeah, it's maybe there's a few people on there, but we can see here. Well, this isn't what I wanted to show. I want to show something that actually works, so let's wait a little moment. But it's going to try, here we go. This is what I meant with highlight those hidden fields. You can clearly see hidden field with an identifier here to highlight the identifier of that post. Now, this is something that the other users should never be able to see. But what can we see here? First of all, a few things. It is doing shit out of scope. Should it do that? No, but you have to add that filter first. So add that filter here. If we go and see the edit page here, we can see an is enforced. What does that mean? Bypassed is enforced and enforced. So bypassed means, as I said, it'll do the same request as the high priv user with low privilege account. Okay, so here it sees that there's 1 byte different. Why is that? What is the actual difference in here? Well, it's gonna have to be something. So here we see the requests. Let's look at the responses. Modified response should be the exact same, the exact same, the exact same. What's gonna be different here? It's gonna be something in the menu or the headers or the welcome blah 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 or whatever. There's a little bit of difference. That means that this user gets pretty much the same response as the other one. And we can prove that. We can show the original response. We can send that to the comparer if we want to. And we can send the other one, the unauthenticated one, to the comparer. And then we can send the modified one to the comparer. So the first one was the normal one. Then we had to modify it. The unauthenticated says 302 redirection. So that status code is different. That's normal. Let's see what's different here. Look, the time. The only difference is the time, meaning the low privileged user can see what the high privileged user is doing at that point. So he can do the same things. This is typical example of a broken access control on functional level. So we've talked about objects, but we haven't done IDOR yet. We've talked about things on functional level, as you can see right here. And we've talked about the things on the object property level. So far, so clear. I will read the chat in a bit, by the way. I'm almost done with my explanation on this. You can do the same with IDORs for this. You can have one account and another account. You just need to be very aware that they would be on the same privilege levels. Or you take somebody who's on a super high privilege level and on a lower privilege level, and you'll test like that. So a lot of questions I see here. That's fucking awesome. Yeah, who's Carlos? This time zone issue destroyed my sleep cycle. Yeah, I can understand that this time zone issue destroyed your sleep cycle, my friend. You know what also tends to destroy a sleep cycle? Having a kid. That tends to also destroy a sleep cycle. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, hey, Surad. I recognize you. Good to see you, dude. I think you played. Yeah, of course, dude. I'm a newbie. Yeah, I'm a newbie as well. Beers, James. Hey, James, dude, it's been a long time. Fuck, man, good to see you here. Shit, dude, that's fucking awesome. Yeah, a good tip. Take it slow. You'll find more attack surface. Fuck, man, that's awesome. I saw a local banking website today and found a known access vulnerability, modified it a little, and threw it to the console. You threw it to the console, my man. no offense, but throwing things into the console means that it's not per se cross-site scripting. You are executing that. How will you get your victim to execute that? That's just not how it works. But it's a good idea that you're having almost. Just realize that it's not gonna work if you throw something into the developer console. I think you meant the developer console, right? I got a 1K T-Mobile bounty a few months ago using their BuyUp API. API hacking is very, very important, guys. Take that tip from James and run with it because API hacking is so, so important. Yeah, that is indeed self-XSS. It's not even XSS because XSS is cross-site scripting, and you're just throwing shit into the console. That's the thing. Yeah, and also APIs are very, very undocumented. A lot of shit on APIs just goes undocumented, and you need to document or at least document it for yourself. That's an important remark as well. Hey, dude, you're fucking the goat. Like the thing is, no, that came out wrong. You're definitely not doing that. You are the goat. Let's keep it at that. But shit, man, I need to watch my language. But you guys really do this for yourselves. Like just showing up here, so many of you dear rats. That's fucking awesome. And that's what I mean. If you're building this for yourselves as a community, I know that you guys are supporting the people that you love, and I can only support that back. I told that to Sora today as well. If you guys put in the effort for me, I'm putting in the effort for you. Just know that. And if you want to learn a lot more tricks like that, just go to our newest bug bounty guide. If Marius or Argus could please throw a coupon in the chat, that would be really awesome. But basically, tomorrow we are releasing or re releasing our bug bounty guide for a large degree. And this is the kind of shit that we talk about in that bug bounty guide. We try to take it real slow there. Here I'm trying to go a little bit faster because I don't have a whole lot of time that I need to cram some hours into, and this rabbit is literally biting my shoes. What are you doing, bro? What the heck are you doing? Jesus. Could you please not? I would really appreciate it if you wouldn't destroy those shoes. Thank you very much. Jesus Christ. What? Why? Why though? Why? I'm sorry. Oh no, dude, don't do me sorry, dude. Mate, you know how many fucking bugs I reported before I found my first vulnerability? And I reported dumb shit, dude. And the worst part is I reported that on HackerOne. Because at a certain point in HackerOne, if you report too much bad stuff, you get negative karma. And then in Roblox, I found my first real vulnerability in XSS that you yeah, that the fucking Jesus Christ, the Alexa says that you entered through the web, and then if you opened it in the desktop shit, it would actually pop. So what do you want from me, bro? Come here, you silly goose. Oh, you just shy. Say hi to the people. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Why are you biting my shoe? Why are you biting my shoe, bro? What did I do to you? You're actually biting my foot. You're actually biting my foot. Could you please stop? Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, guys. So this is just one of the tricks that I wanted to show you. I need to take a little bit of a breather though. So give me a second. I'm just gonna grab a bit of coffee. You know what I'm gonna do first? Give me one moment because there's something that I should be doing. I'm just gonna grab a graphic from our Google Drive so that you guys have at least a little bit to watch. Graphics. We should have a whole bunch of graphics on here. There we go. And I'm just gonna throw that in here. Let's see. And then we go like image, add an image, browse to the downloads folder, and throw that in there. Why not? Looks good. Unload image when not showing. Oh, yeah, whatever. Whatever, bro, whatever. There we go. So give me 2 moments, I'll be right back. Maybe 2 minutes of time for a little bit of a drink, and then I will be right back. That's better. Ain't nothing like a good piece of apple juice. Gotta stay strong. Gotta stay healthy for my rats. Alright. Do we have any more questions? Let's see. Dude, you're one of the biggest motivations for hacking. You guys are. Sorry that I was already read there. So you're bypassing the dashboard and testing the functions as low privilege user, right? Yeah, that's completely right, James. You've got that completely correctly. What I'm doing there indeed is I'm trying to catch the I'm going to try indeed to do this on a low privilege, high privilege situation, but I'm also gonna try to do that, for example, with two people who can edit posts but not like I'll show you. This is a great question, by the way. So what I mean by that is if I go back to the application here and I do shit as the hypriv user for a moment once again. So this was the admin. No, that was not the admin. This was the admin, and I go to the user panel. In here, I can edit what users can do. So I can do view users. And because of the requests going back and forth twice at this point, basically what you'll see here is that if it'll go, it takes like a lot longer. The simple reason it's just doing things twice. It's not very effective. Oh, of course, and when I click view users, it's literally going to load all of the users that I have in this entire system twice. Maybe I need to optimize these labs a little bit. I never said that they were perfect, okay? But neither are you, and look at you. You're shining like a star, so can my labs, right? So let's give this thing a little bit of time to load. But when you look at users, you can basically create a new user with certain rights, and I don't think that this is on the system anymore. So I probably cannot create new users like this. No, I thought so. But what I could do in Burp Suite, of course, always is just delete that, or I should say, where is it? Authorize configuration, clear authorize. A few extra things I wanted to show you. You can say URL does not contain. What does that mean? For example, let's say that we have the home page, index.php. Why would I care about index.php? Everybody can see index.php. Voila, you can exclude certain things. You can include certain things. And if this thing will allow me to make a new user that can actually create posts, that would be fucking fantastic, actually. There we go. So you can see here, can edit, can delete, can create. I can, normally I should be able to filter on here. So let's go back to the proxy and let's see if we can have the register page up. Registered. Apply. Here we go. So you can see here, it doesn't say those things. Can edit, can delete, can blah blah blah, can whatever. But you can actually edit those. I'm not gonna tell you how. I'm just gonna let you figure this out for yourself. But these properties are things which you can actually get to. You can edit those properties per se. You can also create a new user. I don't think that's on the system anymore, so we'll have to see. Now, can you do the same with the delete? Can you also test this stuff out with the delete? No, of course you can. How could you delete something twice? Remember what I said? Authorize repeats your requests. So you can do this with read update. Not creation. Well, creation as well. You could also do this with creation. Let's say that that other user was not able to create a new post, and I create a new post and it works twice and two posts are actually created. That's also broken access control because that user doesn't have that right or shouldn't have that right. So you can test things with either like this, you can test things with broken access control like this. Now, if you do this for a web application, a business to business web application, those things are big. Business to business web applications are huge. Like, think thousands to tens of thousands to even hundreds of thousands of different of combinations of rights that could be tested. If you have groups of users where each group of user can do certain things, then my fucking Jesus, stop biting my leg, dude. So if you have different groups of users that can do different things, you should test each user group. Each user group, meaning an application can be tested up to several times by one hacker, like 10, 20 times if need be. You need to test it all, and you might think that's silly, that's just way too much testing, but the thing is, there's always unforeseen circumstances, and that's up to us. Now, with these IDOR labs, these are great, but you might have found UUID labs as well before. So let's register here for a moment. Let's just take a username, let's take a password, and let's take a nickname, register, and we log in with that account. All right, we can make a post and we can have our own profile. You can already see here, post ID. Check this out. These post IDs, they are UUIDs. Is IDOR still possible on object with a UUID? Of course, if you can see that UUID, why not? This delete, check it out. Hold on. This delete, I'm gonna drag this here. I'm not logged in here. I'm just gonna execute the delete call. That's not gonna work. Why does that not work? Because if I then go to posts, you'll see it's still there. This is a mind game. This is a little bit of a mind trick. So check out this delete thingy right here. I'm just gonna take this now, gonna log out, and I'm gonna make a new account. It'll become immediately apparent what the fuck's going on. Immediately, I'm sure of it. So register, yeah, whatever. Must have done something wrong. Let's log in. Ah, fuck. Username, password, nickname, register, log in. Okay, so I see this other person's post here. Oh, for fuck's sake. What the hell do I keep doing wrong? Okay, so I log in. My labs are probably broken. Create another post here. I can delete this post. But this delete, if I inspect it, it is about my own post. You can see here, question mark delete. This is about my post. What if I change that UUID and click that delete? If I then go to posts, well, it didn't fucking do anything, of course. Yeah, it should work. I probably did something wrong along the lines that, oh, of course, I didn't change the post ID field. But this is also perfectly possible to have IDORs in this regard. So it's definitely possible even with a UUID. And where do you need to check all of the parameters? And that's what I wanted to show with these labs right here. If we go back to the IDOR labs with the post actions, you have the same thing. It could possibly be that a post action has that. So here you can already see a post which isn't mine, and I can, if I use the username A and the password A, I think I can log in as well. No, it's not in the same system. Let's just register then with that username password. The posts are in there though. So we can delete the post that is somebody else, but this post has, if you can see here, it is a post form, method post. So that's different. We can delete other people's posts as well, but we just have to be very careful with that we check the Burp Suite parameters that we get. So if we look in here, you can see that in Burp Suite, in the target system in labs.hexpert.com, if we look at the IDOR thingy right here, post IDOR, for example, here, these are parameterized requests. How can I filter these out? I can just click on this bar here, and then I can say, where is it? Show only parameterized requests. Here we go. And I can show in scope items as well. Anything else that I might want to filter out, maybe only a certain status code I want to see, all possible there. So you can see all of these different parameterized requests. Be careful because there's a lot of requests missing from here as well. And that's because sometimes you have like URL parameters. I don't think Burp Suite catches that, where it's like slash IDOR slash post slash one, where that slash one is your identifier. I don't think Burp catches that if you do parameterized requests like this, or at least the filtering of it. And you might be hacking for like 6 hours and thinking, why is my scope so small? Only to realize that you've put that on where you shouldn't have. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have to say, I have a few more things to show, but I'm probably going to keep those until tomorrow. Let's see here. Thank you so much, Marius. Really appreciate it. Marcel, thank you so much for joining, my man. So we've had a lot of good people here this evening. This is gonna be the stream for tonight. I'm just gonna keep it at that, and I'm just going to do this on a more regular basis because I have three more things that I wanted to show today. There's another stream tomorrow, so just tune in for that, and we're going to go through a lot more of this kind of thing. I love this, man. I miss this. I'm not gonna lie. So thank you so much for joining, everybody. I really, really appreciate it. You've been so helpful in getting me back on my feet. I was a little bit shaken aback, I have to say, but just seeing all of the support for the people that come out is amazing. You guys rock. Thank you so much, Red Pack. You're so much more than a Red Pack to me. You have to realize that. I see in you what you have to start seeing in yourself. I see leaders, I see visionaries, I see people with ideas that can lead their communities. And I want you to go do that. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much, amazing hackers. I really appreciate